Man, if only I had a pain cave like this. Then make one. Are you kidding me? This has probably cost like thousands of dollars.
No man, it only costs like $300.
No way. For all of this? How'd you do that?
You just gotta watch my video about the pain cave, and it will help you get started into making something like this yourself.
Okay, well, where do I watch this video?
We're making it now.
Oh. Welcome! Did you like the intro? It was a little cringy. You know what, just cut me some slack. It was my first time doing it, okay? I'll get better. Today, I'm gonna give a tour of my pain cave. For those who don't know what a pain cave is, it's essentially like, you know, a man cave, but except a workout room for endurance athletes. So it has like a treadmill, a stationary bike, and any other various workout equipment that you need. I'm not sure if other athletes, you know, like the ones who don't run and bike for fun, call their workout rooms pain caves. Maybe they do. I'm not trying to leave anybody out. You can let me know in the comments what you have in your workout room or pain cave if you have one. Through this tour, I'll go over the cost of all these items, what I personally paid for them, and how you can make something like this yourself for fairly cheap. Without further ado, let's get on to the tour. Go!
Welcome to my pain cave. It's just inside this little room here, in the basement. So if we walk on in here, I'm going to start from the back and work my way up to the entrance again. So first things first, I have just some various awards, a nice window outside. I can open it or close it if I'm getting too hot or cold. I got goo for fueling. I have these boxes here to film myself biking when I do my really long bikes. And then the first big item here is a treadmill. Now I got this treadmill for free. This I got from my grandpa. This is one of the many things that I've stolen so far. But if you wanted something kind of like this, it'd probably be around $200 or so on Facebook Marketplace. Next is this phone stand. I use this to watch videos while I run. If Zwift is too boring, then I also have like a show on Netflix or YouTube and I watch it on here. Next is the TV. Now the TV, this one's pretty big. I can show you my other one, but before I had a lot smaller one and a cheaper one. This one I also got for free from my mother-in-law who didn't need it anymore. If you want kind of a cheaper TV to start out with, kind of what I started out with was a TV that was around $40 on Facebook Marketplace again. On the back of here I have a TV mount. I can show you how the TV moves back and forth. With this TV mount, it's a swivel one, so right now it's set up in the front for my bike. When I bike I can view the TV, and then I can also adjust it to the front of the treadmill if I want to watch Zwift or a show or something. The thing that's displaying to this TV is my laptop. This, again, I got for free. This was my wife's old laptop, so I'm using it purely for Zwift, and if I want to watch a show. It's running Zwift on the computer, and it's being displayed onto this projector through an HDMI cable. A computer like this, it has 6 gigabytes of RAM, but you really only need like 4 to 8 gigabytes of RAM, so on Amazon, you could probably get a computer just to run Zwift for about $200, I believe. Let me look. But for me, it was free. Again. Next, coming back here, is probably the most important thing for a pain cave, I believe. And that is the bike. Now this bike, take a guess, was free. Again, this was from my father-in-law's bike. It is not used anymore, so I thought I'd pick it up and use it. It's a very old bike. I had to replace the wires and the gear cables because the gears wouldn't work. It's purely for the trainer. I don't use it out on the road or anything. It's just for the trainer. I'm not going to include the bike to the cost because I'm assuming you have your own bike. There's a various amount of accessories with this bike. I have a phone holder right here. This one's pretty old. I don't think you get on Facebook anymore. I'll show you some other ones that you can get. on Amazon. It'd probably run you around 10 to 20 bucks. On the ground here, I got the Kinetic wheel raiser. It's around 40 bucks on Amazon. Before this, I just used a textbook and I put it right on the wheel, and that works just as well. The only difference is that the wheel on the textbook can spin back and forth, can turn back and forth, but this one can't. So if I try to move it, nothing's gonna happen. Next thing I have is the thing you need for an indoor bike, and that's the indoor bike trainer. I got this off of eBay for about 150 bucks. It's the Kinetic by Kurt T699C. And it's a fluid wheel, so when you stop, it'll take a while for it to slow down, because that's kind of what happens on the road. All these items will be linked in the description for you, so you can see what I'm talking about here, and you can go yourself and give it a look and do some more research yourself. Now the back, I have a sensor on the back. You see that little dot there? That's a magnet. And there's a little sensor back here. Let me see if I can go. That green thing right there, that senses this magnet, and it actually measures the power on this wheel. So it's a dumb trainer, not a smart trainer, but it actually measures the power pretty accurately, based on what I've heard. And it's a pretty cheap option for you to get. So that sensor is about 50 bucks for that sensor with the magnet to attach onto it. And then attached to the computer is this really long USB cable. You go down here, it's going down around here, and I have it, what's attached then to that cable is a ANT plus adapter, so that sensor can connect to the computer and work. That's my bike and how it connects to the computer and to Zwift. Next is my fan. I just have a small Honeywell fan. This thing's really nice because it's super quiet and it still gives you a lot of good air. This fan is about 33 bucks on Amazon, so not too expensive, I wouldn't think. But yeah, that's my main setup, and this is what I use 99% of the time. I have this random person on Zwift here, Machado. Congratulations, you're on YouTube. I have this other bike here. It doesn't really get used anymore. I'm probably gonna get rid of it, but it's just it's a dumb little exercise bike that I got for like 100 bucks. I'm not gonna include it in this total cost because I never use it. Then I got a chair if someone wants to sit down, and I have some weights. These I also got for free from my parents, because they don't use them anymore. And then I got this shelf full of stuff. This shelf I got from IKEA for about 50 bucks. I'll probably do a separate video on all of my items, but that's where I store all that. I also have a whiteboard, but I don't really use it, so I'm not going to include it in the cost. And then over here is just my my camera stuff is in this box, and everything over here is just stuff I do for my day job. Don't worry about that, it's kind of cluttered. What's important is this stuff here. So that is the tour of my Paincave. Hope you like it. All right, back to you, Connor.
Thanks, Connor. Okay, so running the numbers, I personally spent $412 on my Paincave, which realistically isn't that much money when you compare it to other Paincaves that you see on YouTube. So for me, it costs that much money, but if you, for some reason, don't have access to family or friends that you can steal a bunch of equipment from, here's around what it would cost you if you wanted a Paincave setup exactly like mine. If I look at my fancy list here, you would need a treadmill, a bike trainer with the accessories that come with it, a TV, a laptop, a fan, a wheel raiser, shelving, and other various equipment that you would want. In total, that would cost you around $852 based on the value of my Paincave. But what if you don't have access to family and friends you can steal from, and you don't have $800 just sitting around? Well, you can go with the bare minimum, and that would be just getting what I think is the most important things for a Paincave. And that would be a treadmill, a bike trainer, and a fan. That's all you'd need. This would cost you around 450 bucks instead. It could even cost less if you time it right and be patient with Facebook Marketplace or eBay and find a really cheap treadmill or a really cheap bike trainer. You can even run Zwift with the setup if you buy the ANT Plus sensor that I talked about in my tour. because you can even connect that via Bluetooth to your phone. And you can download the Zwift app on your phone and run Zwift through there. This is for a minimalist setup and is what I believe all it takes for you to make a Paincave. Maybe you're thinking,
I don't have space for this, Connor. I can't do this.
You don't need that much space for a simple setup like this. I only use a 4.5 foot by 9 foot space for my treadmill, bike, and TV. All three of those things in that little of a space. If you're starting from scratch, I definitely wouldn't start with something that's expensive. This is because if you're starting from scratch, odds are you've never biked or ran inside before, and you might not like it. And if you get all these things and you don't like it, at least you spent a couple $100 versus a couple thousand. And I just gotta say, your perfect ideal Paincave is not gonna be done overnight, unless you have thousands of dollars laying around. It could take years for you to improve it and make it the perfect setup that you want it to be. It's personally been 2 years for me, and I'm still trying to improve my setup. My goal from this was to show that almost all of you can get started on making a Paincave. All you need to do is start saving and be patient. It doesn't get made overnight. It takes time. So try not to get overwhelmed by other people's setups on YouTube that cost thousands of dollars. Just do your research, stay committed, and you'll be fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would like a nice setup, but I truly believe I'm having as much fun with my $400 setup as I would with a setup that's a couple grand. I really hope this helped. Let me know if it did, or if you're still overwhelmed, or if this just made you more overwhelmed. And if you have a Paincave, how much better or worse it is than mine. I really hope it's better than mine. Anyways, have fun, stay healthy, and don't do this.